Righto team, nearly 2 years after I sold Rosie the Rally, I finally have my own bike again, something I can call my own, do with as I please, and thoroughly enjoy. So let's take a look. I'll run you through why I got this bike and what I hope the future holds with it. So stay tuned. Right, so that's right, it's been 2 years almost since I sold my CRF 250L Rally Rosie. There has been a few regrets in that time, mostly due to not having my own bike, but for obvious reasons I wanted to take my time and make sure. Those are some horny geese. I wanted to make sure that I got the right bike for what I wanted in motorcycling and where I want to go with my riding career as it was. So without further ado, I'm going to go grab the bike and we'll run through it. That's right team, the Goodsy's back and now it's mine. Rightio team, so those of you who guessed Moto Guzzi, you were right. I have gone and got myself a Moto Guzzi V7 Stone. This is my new bike, and eagle-eyed viewers may recall this bike's been on the channel before. This is the bike I had for summer 2024-2025, and I had a bit of unfinished business with it, but that's not the only reason I chose this bike over something a bit more popular like a Triumph 900. So let's go into the more finer details as to why I chose the Moto Guzzi V7 Stone instead of a Triumph, which a lot of people were also guessing. So we'll start with the engine. When it comes to the engine, obviously the Moto Guzzi, it's an air-cooled transverse V-twin. The Triumphs which were in the running, I have to say, I was cross-shopping between a Triumph Bonneville T100 or Speed Twin 900 or the Moto Guzzi. They have a great engine. It's one of the greats in terms of audible pleasure. They just sound phenomenal. But in the end, I've been a V-twin guy since my very first bikes. I, for better or worse, started out on Hyasungs, and they had a air-cooled V-twin, and it's sort of a homecoming for me going back to an air-cooled V-twin. There's also just something so right about a motorcycle with a V-twin engine. They're chalk and cheese, they go together, they're sort of meant to be. And lastly, you just can't go past the magic of a Moto Guzzi engine. If you've not ridden one before, seriously, you need to go and give it a crack because they're unlike anything else. They have a very magic feeling to them. They feel like you're riding a machine, not a toaster or some other appliance. They're not overly refined. They've just got a little bit of the Moto Guzzi magic to them, which, as I say, you've got to ride it to experience it. So that engine is one of the main reasons I went for this bike. It just feels so good compared to what else I've ridden. Second reason I went for the Guzzi over a Triumph was the fuel tank size. So simply stated, the Moto Guzzi with a 21 litre fuel tank has nearly double the tank size and range that the equivalent Triumphs do. I believe the T100 has about a 14-15 litre fuel tank, and the Speed Twins have a 12 litre fuel tank, which they look fantastic, they sound fantastic, but they simply lack the fuel range for what I want to do with this bike. Now, yes, one of the things I brought up when I did my Nodder review of this bike was the fact that it doesn't have a fuel gauge, but as many Guzzi owners have pointed out, that actually isn't much of a problem when you get to know it. When the fuel light comes on, you've still got about 80 kilometres of range left, which is plenty of time to get fuel. Heck, that's half my commute up to the office in Auckland. So the fuel tank size was a massive, massive pro in the box for the Guzzi. Third reason I opted for the Goodsey, rarity. So while the Bonneville 900s aren't a particularly popular bike here in New Zealand, with Kiwis opting for the larger 1200cc engines, they're still way more popular than a Moto Guzzi is. So the V7 is currently, well, has always been a good seller for Guzzi, but it sells in small numbers. You don't see them everywhere. And going back to those old Hyosung days, I'd pull up to a petrol station, I'd get out, I'd fill up the tank, and I'd have people coming up and talking to me about the bike because they didn't know what it was, they were interested in it, and that's an experience I've lacked, especially back when I was on the Honda. Everyone sort of looked at it like, oh, it's a dirt bike, I don't want to know that guy. Where this, a beautiful modern retro, from a brand that is pretty well known but not often seen, that seems like a fun thing. So I'm looking forward to meeting lots of people while I'm out and about on this bike, telling them how much I love it, because yeah, I fell in love with this bike, which that's a good enough reason as any to buy it, right? One last thing in the box for the Goodsey is accessibility. Now, this is an ex-demo unit, of course, so that means it is more affordable than buying a brand new bike. Brand new, these are about $17,000, $18,000. I did have hopes of getting my hands on the V7 Stone Special Edition, which comes out of the box with arrow pipes and everything, but when this bike was still knocking around, having not sold 6 months after I handed it back, I spoke to the bosses at Moto Guzzi New Zealand and said, hey, could I buy that bike? And they said, sure. I won't say anything about what I pay for it because obviously it's not a deal that the public would get, but essentially it's accessible on price, but it's also accessible in the fact that I can get on it. It's got a nice low seat height. My wife can get on it and ride pillion quite happily. The seat is nice and comfortable, and it's, after riding for 5 years on a dual sport, it's quite nice to be able to get my feet fully flat to the ground. Now, there's plenty of other reasons why I chose this over the Triumphs. LED lighting all around is a plus. The fact that I know the bike quite well, having ridden it before, the fact it's broken in, and the fact that it came with luggage. But at the end of the day, I did make the choice. It was the Guzzi. It had so much going for it, and I'm looking forward to the future. So yeah, got some plans for this bike. Obviously, I want to modify this bike. I have some certain plans. The first one's being to chuck some new tyres on it, because at 13,000 k's old, these original tyres are cooked. It's one of the reasons this bike is pretty affordable as an ex-demo. So I'm going to talk to my friends at motogear.co.nz and sort out a set of Michelins, because I'm a long-time fan of Michelin motorcycle tyres. They've not put me wrong so far. So a set of Michelins will be going on here. And I do have a few other mods in mind. Obviously, I've already whacked the quad lock on here because I like to know where I'm going, because I get lost a bit. And the wireless charger is very handy as well when you're commuting to work and listening to music. Other mods I'm going to do, well, you'll just have to wait and see. I do have a few up in my brain that I am looking forward to implementing, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Another thing I'm really looking forward to do is go out moto camping. So if you remember from from way back last summer, I did have a concrete plan to go moto camping. I was going to go up to Port Jackson, which is at the top of the Coromandel, and that didn't happen in the end. So I want to tick that off the list. I want to tick off all sorts of other moto camping, because it's sort of getting out and chilling is just, it seems like this is the perfect bike to do it on, especially with that luggage. Now, I have actually gone moto camping on this already. I went to the Cold Kiwi Motorcycle Rally. I did a bit of filming there, but it wasn't time to share it, and there wasn't really a narrative to the story. It was more a, look at me, I'm at the Cold Kiwi Rally. It's cold, it's raining, there's a fire over there, there's people doing stuff on dirt bikes. It was all a bit of a mess, so I didn't share that video, but it has done its first camping mission. I completely overpacked, so it's something to work on going forwards. But I've got this beautiful official Guzzi luggage, and I'm looking forward to putting it to use. Now, last up, it's having my own bike again means I can just pop out and scratch the riding itch. which is something you can't really do when you're looking after press bikes or demo bikes. You can only do a certain amount of kilometers on those, and then you have to give them back. So I can do whatever the heck I like with this bike, even if it's literally popping out for a half-hour ride like I am right now and enjoying myself. I'm also looking forward to not having to feel like I have to film everything with this bike, because let's face it, it's a bit different. It's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's all right. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching the reveal of my new motorcycle. I'm really excited to get out and just enjoy riding again. I've sort of got the itch back, and I'm really thankful for that. So stay tuned, there will be more content on this bike, and there'll be other content too as I navigate the channel changes. Till next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next ride.